The last topic of Chapter 8 is to look at the long-run supply. We've sort of started that when we talked about entry and exit into markets. So let's say we're currently in equilibrium in the market right here. The market is producing Q star amount at price P star, and it's being allocative efficient, which means it's maximizing our total surplus. And over here is our long-run average cost curve. We'll have a marginal cost curve cuts through there. It's actually a long-run marginal cost curve, which we haven't really talked about, but works the same way as a short run. And let's say the market demand increases. Let's say people like this item and they want to get more of it. So consumers like this item more. Demand increases out to D2. What does that do? Well, it drives the price up. As the price goes up, we find now they're going to be producing over here, build a plant size here, and they'll make profits. As we saw earlier, this would be your average cost. And now we have positive profit. Well, what does that do in the long run? Well, again, if you're making positive profit, we saw firms will enter. Now the question is, when do firms stop entering? That's when the price is back to the bottom here. So the supply is going to increase all the way out to there. S2. And the price comes back down. So price goes up and comes back down. First it went up, and then it came back down as supply increased, and we're back to where we were initially. So in the long run, let me get a control here. We're going to go from this point to that point. And so your long run supply is going to be horizontal. And we would call that your long-run supply. I have nowhere to write it. Long-run supply. And this is known as a constant cost industry. I didn't change my cost over here. So my long-run average cost curve and all the short runs with it have stayed where they are, and so we're simply going to go back to where we were. Not the case if we had what is known as either a decreasing cost industry or an increase in cost. A decrease in cost means as more firms enter, then average costs fall. And this might be a new market or a new part of the country where there's not many railroads or airports nearby, don't have good telecommunications systems, you have bad cellular service, and therefore as more firms come in, you get better infrastructure. You get the government to come in and maybe build an airport there. You get railroads coming in, you get highways coming in, you get telecommunications coming in, cell towers, and everyone's costs go down. Well, that means that supply is going to increase a bit more out to here. So if we go back to your textbook, so that'd be the case here, where supply is going to keep increasing, driving the price down lower than where we started, and so in the long run, your long-run supply will be going down. Increasing cost industry is probably after it was decreasing. Historically, if you study industries, they tend to go through three phases. Initially, you tend to have decreasing costs as you go into a new area, and again, improvements in transportation communications takes place. And then it might be constant costs for a while, and at some point you get too many firms coming in, you have congestion going on. I talked about building freeways. Now the freeways are crowded. Could be like maybe Los Angeles, where your costs have gone up in terms of transportation. Higher rents take place, is probably, again, Southern California has experienced that. Higher wages, higher raw material costs, all this would increase your average total cost. And so if I increase my average total cost, it means this curve, and all the short runs with it go up here somewhere. So my minimum point's going to be up here somewhere, higher. In that case, it'll look like this. Supply will, so if demand first increases, drives the price up. Supply increases as well. Not as much as with constant cost or a decrease in cost. And then your long run supply is going to be upward sloping. So long run, you can find prices going up, prices going down, prices staying the same based on what kind of industry it is. But in all three cases, in long run, the profits will be down to zero once all the dust has cleared. Either firms have come in or firms have left. And then the next chapter is to look at a firm that has price making power, and this would be an extreme at the other end. We have one extreme here in terms of being a price taker, and then we go all the way to the other extreme where you have only one seller and that person is a complete price maker, and that would be monopoly.